watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Susan Tran.
And I'm Chris Flanagan. A stern warning from President Trump for Saturday's military parade in D.C. He says anyone planning to protest that event will be met with very big force.
The military parade honoring the Army's 250th anniversary, also President Trump's birthday. It's set to disrupt travel, halting flights at Reagan National and tying up roads.
Yeah, DC News Now's Randy Bass has more on all the preparations for Saturday's event.
Yes, the president making those comments about using heavy force against protesters earlier this afternoon as more fencing went up around the city today and more preparations are underway.
We're going to be celebrating big on Saturday. We're going to have a lot of, and if there's any protester who wants to come out, they will be met with very big force. By the way, for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but, you know, this is people that hate our country. But they will be met with very heavy force.
The president sending that warning Tuesday ahead of this weekend's massive military parade, expected to bring hundreds of thousands of people to the district. During a briefing Monday, officials told DC News Now they're aware of some planned counter-protests, but no credible threats. The Secret Service said it's also keeping a close eye on riots and protests happening in Los Angeles.
We're not expecting it. We have no intelligence of that happening here. But if it does, we have the resources to handle it.
More fencing and staging went up Tuesday, and more heavy military vehicles were seen staging nearby at the Pentagon ahead of Saturday's parade. Visitors we talked to say they've been taking in the sights despite the changes here in D.C.
Kind of surprised to see some of the fencing, but I figured that's what they needed to do with the parade coming up. Honestly, if we'd have known when we booked the trip a few months ago that this was going to happen this weekend, we might have stayed an extra day.
And when it comes to safety at Saturday's parade, it's important to keep in mind that attendees are supposed to enter through specified checkpoints only outside that fenced-in perimeter to be screened by magnetometers before heading in to the secure area. Along the National Mall, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
The military parade will cause dozens of street closures and detours. Metro bus route changes take effect Thursday night, and some road closures in Virginia, they start tomorrow night. You can find a full list of changes right now on our website, DCNewsNow.com.
President Trump got a preview of the show ahead of the Saturday's parade. He was over at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. It's the headquarters for the Army Special Operations, and he got to watch nearly 600 paratroopers jump from planes. They also demonstrated the firepower of some missiles systems.
And the president also defending his decision to send in the military to Los Angeles in response to protests over immigration raids. This morning, he told reporters if he had not gotten involved, L.A. would be on fire. And speaking to soldiers today at Fort Bragg, he vowed to keep a military presence in L.A. until the protests end.
Simply, we will liberate Los Angeles and make it free, clean, and safe again. It's happening very quickly. Under the Trump administration, this anarchy will not stand. We will not allow federal agents to be attacked, and we will not allow an American city to be invaded and conquered.
Well, California's governor is filing an emergency motion in federal court to block the National Guard and Marines from assisting with immigration raids. Governor Gavin Newsom writing on X, Trump is turning the U.S. military against American citizens. We'll have much more on the response to the protests coming up in the next 15 minutes.
All right, it is Tuesday and time to check on our forecast. Pretty decent out there.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb is here. If you're lucky enough to have outdoor plans tonight, boy, you're cashing in.
Yeah, the humidity is way down across the region, and so we're happy. Finally, this is nice, breathable air. It may let the AC go for tonight. Really, we are going to have a good 24 hours of temperatures fairly on the comfortable side. And the cold front, it did its job. Here it is out towards Delaware, parts of Philadelphia and New York City has crossed our region, and so you're definitely dealing with a cooler air mass that will settle in place even for your Wednesday afternoon. Now, air temperatures, they're still very mild, 81 for DC metro area, down towards Northern Virginia, upper 80s across the Shenandoah Valley, and dew points, they were sitting in the 70s, so still seeing that out towards Fredericksburg, but that will continue to climb downward going into the rest of your evening. We'll sit under dry conditions for tonight, and it is a beautiful Wednesday. It's my pick day of the entire week before Thursday, right? And this upcoming weekend where we have a stormy pattern, but the 90s, they return. More on that coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Janessa. Disturbing new details now out of Maryland. Some Frederick County teens are accused of assaulting fellow students.
Yeah, investigators say the incidents happened in April for roughly a week in the locker rooms at Brunswick High School. Now, we do want to warn you about some of the information you're about to hear. DC News Now's Dave Laval explains.
First, want to warn you, you may find some of the details you're about to hear disturbing, as a handful of student athletes here at Brunswick High School are accused of shocking crimes.
It's disgusting.
Gary Osmer minces no words how he feels, hearing 5 student athletes from Brunswick High School are charged with using a sex toy to assault fellow students.
It's almost unbelievable just how that our country is just degrading down to what it is today, and it's only getting worse, unfortunately.
Frederick County Sheriff's investigators say the attacks happened inside 2 locker rooms at the school, April 3rd and April 11th. The second incident involved 4 of the athletes, as one of them recorded the attack on his cell phone. That investigation led to the discovery of the earlier incident.
It's very discouraging.
Investigators said in that one, 2 athletes held down the victim, while a third also recorded the incident. 2 of the 3 individuals are said to have taken part in the April 11th attack.
Nothing like this ever. Nothing, no.
Frederick County Sheriff Charles Jenkins is still trying to come to terms with what happened at the school.
It's actually shocking that, young men like that would do things which they know is wrong. They knew was wrong.
4 of the student athletes are said to be on the school's lacrosse team. The other, a baseball player. They range in ages from 15 to 17 and have been charged as juveniles. Osmer disagrees with that decision.
They need to pay the price. They need to pay the consequences.
The Frederick County Public School District declined our request to comment on this report. In Brunswick, Maryland, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
In the district, a man caught on camera ripping down pride decorations could face hate crime charges. Take a look at this video of a man taking down some rainbow wrapping from utility poles in DuPont Circle last week. Police are not saying this is the person they've arrested, but investigators have now charged Michael Webb Jr. for destroying rainbow-colored cloth in that area last week. They also say he used spray paint to write offensive words on a building on Main Avenue in Southwest. Webb is facing charges of damaging and defacing private property, and police say they're looking into the incidents as potentially being motivated by hate or bias.
All new tonight in Maryland, a car backs right into a building in Silver Spring. You can see the damage here from these pictures. It happened on Fisk Drive this morning. Montgomery County Fire saying the driver was not hurt. No word tonight what caused that driver to back into the building.
Right now in Maryland, a water main break flooding the basements of several homes in Silver Spring. Officials say that this is a 12-inch pipe that cracked on Urbana Drive, forcing police to shut down parts of Georgia Avenue. So if you can, you want to avoid that area. DC News Now is your local election headquarters. The race for governor in Virginia heating up. A new campaign finance report showing Democrat Abigail Spanberger has a clear money advantage.
Yeah, the former congresswoman raised a little more than $6.5 million between April and June. That is $3 million more than her challenger, Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. Spanberger's cash on hand now more than $14 million compared to just under $3 million for Earl Sears. But political analyst Larry Sabato says money won't decide who wins the governor's mansion in November.
People often celebrate too early and organize the funeral too early. So I would caution people to pay attention to the campaign. The campaign and the candidates are what matters, and the national situation will determine the context in which the governor is selected.
And it's also important to note Earl Sears spent more money than she raised during that latest filing period.
In our schools now, we're getting more details on how school leaders in the district plan to enforce the new cell phone policy. When students return to class in the fall, there will be no devices allowed from the start of the school day until the end. The bell-to-bell policy applies to all students from kindergarten through high school. Ahead at 6:30, DC News Now's Marielle Carbone will have more on what students are saying about these new guidelines.
And in Virginia, keeping books open during summer. Volunteers in the Shenandoah Valley are making sure kids read over break. The Henley Library in Winchester is holding its annual Rockin' the Library event. That is on June 25th. Authors and illustrators will come meet with young students there. There will also be live music and free gifts.